Hey, what is good? What is good, everyone? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. It's your boy ACS, and welcome to the show, you guys. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today, obviously, Georgia Sports. First off, the Atlanta Falcons got themselves a mile-high cheek clapping. We're going to talk about that. They went to Denver and got smoked, bro. Smoked with a capital, all capitals, S-M-O-K-E-D, smoked by Denver, right? The Broncos clapped them up. Not much brave news out there, obviously. You know what I'm saying? We're still waiting on to get to those winter meetings and things of that nature, and we'll talk about those as well. How about Georgia finally got itself into the top 12, right? Not just the top 12, but we're talking about the top 12 when it comes to the college football playoff. Finally got a spot in there, not secured as of yet. Season isn't over. And, man, Georgia Tech had a bye this week, so not much to talk about there, but we'll sort of talk about what they got coming up this week, and they got Georgia in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, this show, I'm going to be talking about, like, it's rivalry week, right? And Atlanta United still hasn't played a game yet since they went to Miami and sort of wrecked shop, you know what I'm saying? So, not much there as well, but they're coming up. They got a game in just a few days as well. And the Hawks, man, trying to get themselves back to 500, get close anyway. Yeah, man, all that and maybe some extras. Who knows, man? This is Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all sports, all things that are sports. Apologies. Oh, one more thing I want to apologize for. My microphone last week, I went back and watched a little bit of the episode, and this is one of the things where, you know, when you don't have a co-host, it kind of gets you. I wasn't using the correct microphone. I apologize. The sound to me was not good, but at least you could hear me. So, again, last week's microphone situation, I apologize. I was using the camera microphone and not this one right here. So, once again, Georgia Sports Central, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all this sports. Be back in a second.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
What up, what up, what up, what up? What is good? What is good? Again, you're watching Georgia Sports Central, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. I'm your boy, ACS. I am from Georgia, and I'm your host, man. So if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. I talk Georgia sports. It's a little dynamic here when it comes to some of the teams that I root for and some of the teams that I don't. But I am from Georgia, and I do, I am sort of have my hand on kind of like the pulse of what people feel about these sports teams, whether or not, because obviously, as you can see here, I'm a Georgia fan. Do not cheer for Georgia Tech by any stretch. I'm gonna cover them, no man. I'm gonna cover them in a way that nobody else can as a Georgia fan, right? I'm not gonna hold no punches or anything like that. Georgia Tech, it's like the other week they clapped on Miami. Went ahead and took Miami out last week. Kudos, man. Shouts out Georgia Tech. Sort of went on a bye week. So we'll be talking about some of that as well. Just want to put y'all in sort of that mind frame of your boy. If this is your first time here and you had never seen Georgia Sports Central before. And again, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Hey, what's good? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Hump Day Wednesday. Have a great. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So, like I said, there's a lot of things to talk about that we're going to jump into. Real quick, I always try to open the thing with sort of a question for the audience, man. Give me your thoughts, maybe, and if you're not catching this live, of course, feel free to jump into the comments and give some. So what do you guys think in college football about the conference championship games? Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about them anyway. And then recently, Lane Kiffin, coach for Ole Miss, came out, sort of had some thoughts when it came to and he said a lot of coaches in the SEC. And look, I can see it, man. I can see it. You go through the entire regular season and get to a certain point in your schedule, a certain record and certain standings, right? And some of these, and by the way, we're going to take a look when we get to talking about Georgia. I'm going to pull up the very new college football playoff rankings that came out just last night. Going to go over those and also the top 25 and see who fell off and things of that nature. Briefly, because that does pertain to Georgia, since Georgia's all up in that. And Tech not yet, maybe. As a matter of fact, I don't see Tech getting in there unless something happens in the last game of the season that will probably I will not agree with, just so to speak. So let's put that one on the back burner for just a second. But no. Yeah, I was sort of so yeah, conference championships, man. You make it through the regular season, good standing. You're looking good in the standings. You know what I'm talking about? Looking like might get some nice bowl game or something like that. But then you have to play a conference championship game, right? And a lot of teams don't. And I think the thing with Notre Dame is probably the biggest hiccup when it comes to that because they're not part of something, one of these conferences, and they don't have a conference championship. Excuse me. And so there's a lot of stuff out there when it comes, a lot of thoughts about that as well. Look, Notre Dame has been independent for a long time. Do I think eventually, yes, they're going to have to join a conference? I think so. Well, unless this movement that I'm about to talk about, unless it makes some headway. Lane Kiffin had a press conference the other day where he said he spoke and he talked. There's other SEC coaches who don't like the SEC championship game. And of course, the only one who was on record is saying that Kirby, relax, bro. Kirby Smart, coach Georgia Bulldogs, said that the SEC championship game is just as important as the national championship. No, it's not. When look back on history, I can't tell you how many teams have won the SEC championship game that have been forgotten. Let me tell you something. That is not the same thing. Now, as a Georgia fan, the SEC is a big deal. I love to win the SEC championship game. But to come out here and say that it's just as good as the Natty, nah, bruh. I'm going to have to go ahead and disagree on that, Kirby. There's no way in hell it's the same thing. It does not mean the same. But he was one of the only coaches that came out that were a proponent. And if you're Georgia and you normally win the SEC championship, of course you're going to be a proponent of it. Me personally, if you have to get rid of it for certain reasons, and look, people are going to agree on this thing when it goes for them, right? If I have a year where Georgia literally gets eliminated from the 12-team college football playoff because they lose the SEC championship game, get rid of it. Goddamn, SEC championship game ain't worth a damn. You gonna hear those words out of my mouth. The same with any other team fan out there, right? They might be against it, so to speak, or they might be for it or don't care. But as soon as your team gets eliminated from the CFP because you lost that championship game, you mad now, bro. I'm going to go ahead and tell you disagree now, and I will too. Like right now, I literally have no big problem with it. Them having an SEC championship game. It's been around for decades and centuries, and obviously college football hasn't been around that long. You get the gist of what I'm saying. It's been around for a minute, right? And I have no problem with it. Unless Georgia gets in there and loses it, and then they can't play for the national title game, then I'm pissed. Then I'm gonna be mad, right? And that's what most fans, right? They'll sit here and say, "Well, conference championship game, except for like the Big Ten, it hasn't been around that long." And they felt that they had to add a championship game to their conference because of the way things were looking when it came to like national championship talk, right? They didn't have one, and they're saying, well, if you don't have one, you're gonna get eliminated. But some of these conferences that have one is gonna be, and that's the same. But again, remember the college football playoff now, it's not just the CFP, it's literally it's the top four. I mean, I guess they're gonna go for the winners that get to those top four spots that get a bye that first week, but it's not necessarily as extravagant as they make it seem. So yes, if you want to get rid of conference championships, do so. I think the only way to get around this is if the committee literally says that the conference championships have no bearing on what happens with the final CFP rankings. If they're going to do that, then teams are probably still. But again, there's injury. You play the whole regular season, you end with a certain record. Now you got this and again, I'll tell you, I have no problem with the SEC championship game. Is there any conference championship game? Is there the probability for somebody to get injured? Of course there is. It's football. It's a contact sport. Shit can happen, right? So, I just want to pose that question, man. How do people feel out there about the conference championship games? Because I know there's been a lot of talk about them lately. People want to get them eliminated. And it's, especially, look, when you're talking about a team like Ole Miss, right? All right, what, let me see what their record is. Let's see. They're 8-2, right? Of course, if you're talking about Ole Miss 8-2, you go to the SEC championship game and get beat. Now you're 8-3. You're eliminated from any type of playoff chances. You can lose three games, right? It says if Georgia loses the SEC championship, that's their fault. Should have won them games. Oh no! Hey man, hey, hold up now. I see what you coming with. Hey, calm down, bro. Hey, I got you. By no means do I make any excuses for Georgia. I clap on them motherfuckers as hard as I can at all times when they don't do what they supposed to do. Okay. Now you talk about the SEC championship game. Again. Who's your college team? Who you cheer for? Because again, people cool with championship games until it puts their team out of contention for something else. Then they don't want the championship games no more. So tuning in my hey, what up, Larry? What's good? Just started to show off. I pose a question: how y'all feel about conference championship games? Because there's been some talk this week about them, especially coming from some SEC teams. And I said the same thing as I'm always going to say. If you're a fan of an SEC team or any college football team, and you're going to have a problem if the conference championship game takes you out of contention for other things. You just are. The main person, like I just said, Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin was been out there this week talking about the Georgia or the SEC doesn't need a conference championship game. That's because he's 8-2. If he just happens to get to the conference championship game and he loses, now he's 8-3. Now you're eliminated from everything. So I think teams, of course, you'll hear coaches saying to Kirby, I'm surprised he's not on that same bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like, I'm surprised he's not sitting there saying the same thing, because if Georgia loses one more time, donezo, bruh. Or we're going to get a bowl game. But as far as the CFP is concerned, wave bye-bye to that one, homie. That's legit. So I think when it comes to fans, I don't think they really have a problem with those championship games, unless a loss will put your team out of the big dance. And that's the only dance that people care about dancing in. I'm going to tell you right now, as a fan, the SEC championship is nice. I've been to one. It's incredible. But let me tell you something. Dancing with this trophy, if you putting one of these on if you holding one of these up, I'd rather have that one than an SEC championship trophy any step of the way. Any step. So coaches out there that don't like the conference championship games, there's reasons for that and there's reasons for not. As a fan, again, it doesn't mess with me until we get knocked out of some shit. All right, so let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. Forgot to put myself up here. Let's move on. Let's move on, y'all. Falcons, man. Falcons. They're on a bye week this week, and rightfully so. The Falcons went to they played the Denver Broncos this past weekend in Denver. And I like to call that game the Mile High cheek clapping. That's exactly what it was. I can't put it any other way than Atlanta Falcons took themselves to Denver and got their asses kicked on every single level of the game. And you know what makes it even worse? They had a couple turnovers, a fumble and an interception, both by Kirk Cousins. The fumble was recovered. The interception was. So that's one turnover that gave away. One turnover, bro. One turnover, and you lost 38-6 to the Denver Broncos. And again, I'm gonna call this for what it is. It's the Mile High cheek clapping. That's exactly what happened. Let me get some of these stats real quick. As I move through this thing. So Denver Broncos 38-6 over the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins 18 for 27, 173 yards, one interception, sacked 3 times for 21 yards, right? Denver's deep. And let's make no bones about it. Denver has a fire defense. The defense has been on display this entire season thus far. Been nice. Better than their offense, obviously, as you can look at that. But it was a pure ass whooping, man. Pure ass whooping. Penix Jr. got in there at the end of the game, 2 for 4, 24 yards. You know, and didn't have any turnovers, things of that nature. Bo Nix. Now, of course, I'm a Georgia fan, so I know all about Bo Nix. Played for Auburn, transferred to Oregon. Know all about Bo Nix. Played him a couple times when he was at Auburn. Then obviously the last time we played him was not this past season or last season. It was the season before that. We opened against Oregon in Atlanta. I was at that game too. We was able to see that clapped up. But so we're real familiar with Bo Nix. Bo Nix, man, 28 for 33, 307 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Bo Nix, Denver Broncos starting quarterback against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. 28 for 33, 5 incompletions, no turnovers, 307 yards, and 4 touchdowns, bro. Bo Nix balled up. So, and looking at this game with not many turnovers, let's see. Bijan Robinson, 12 carries for 35 yards. Jace McClellan, 8 carries for 15 yards. That's not good. Kirk Cousins had a carry. I guess that's the fumble. Receiving yards for Atlanta, Drake London, 3 for 61. Ray McLeod, 6 for 46. Bijan Robinson, 4 for 28. Darnell Mooney, 2 for 27. So look, they just weren't moving the ball. And I think the conclusion you can draw from this, and you should have been drawing it all season, although the Falcons have been in sort of a spot where you can kind of overlook things. The defense is not good, man. Atlanta Falcons defense is not good, bro. I had heard a couple of things. I think it was on the radio Monday, talking about their pressure rate is the lowest in the NFL. They got the least amount of sacks. They're just not doing the business, man. They're just not, quarterbacks are having all day to stand back there and pass. Bo Nix, again, 28 for 33. and look, it's not funny. Bo Nix is a professional football player. By any stretch of imagination, I'm not trying to clown dude. But it's Bo Nix, right? And if you've been watching the Broncos so far this season, he has not been the strong point. It's been their defense. But when you allow that to happen, and the reason why I keep mentioning that is because the Falcons allowed him to throw for 307 yards and 4 touchdowns. A rookie, right? And look, I feel Raheem Morris, head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, when he was talking about this is not our team. I feel him. This can't be. The only bright spot is 2 field goals from Younghoe Koo, and the reason why I say that's a bright spot is because he missed 3 field goals last week against New Orleans, which you could, if you want to look at it that way, say that's what cost the Falcons the game, was missing 3 field goals. So he was 2-0, perfect on his thing, but nobody else on the team was, so to speak, really. You can't look at anything. Cousins, again, 2 turnovers. And the Falcons, look, they're still first in the NFC South. And they're on a bye this week, and they return to action December 1st. They got the Chargers. The Chargers, who are playing very well, coming to the ATL, right? Now on Sunday, man. They're coming on December 1st, right? So that's what we're looking for. So NFC South record, just to take a look at it, the Falcons are 6-5. Tampa Bay Buccaneers 4-6. New Orleans Saints 4-7. And the Carolina Panthers are 3-7, man. 3-7. So, hey, man, that's some Again, considering what the score was, this was the Mile High cheek clapping, bro. I'm gonna call it that until the end of existence. They went to Denver and got handled pretty well, right? So there's that. Real quick, just to pull up on some stuff real quick. Apologies for I did want to pull up some high school football stuff from Georgia. There's a couple teams that got ranked very highly nationally at the end of not college, but at the end of the high school football season. So I'm gonna take a look here. Milton, Buford, and Carrollton finished regular season as Georgia's top teams in national polls. So these high schools were on national polls, right? So take a look at the top 100. The top 100 from Cal Preps. Number 10, Milton. Number 14, Buford. And Carrollton is number 19, right? And if we go look at USA Today polls, number 3 is Milton, right? Carrollton is number 6, and Buford are number 12. Max Preps, top 100, Milton number 2, Carrollton number 5, Buford number 12. Bro, imagine being a high school football team and they've been ranking these things for years, make no mistake about it, but that's crazy. You look at some books and you see yourself up there. Let's see. The Massey ratings, have Carrollton at number 17, Milton at 23, and Buford at 28. Let's see. We got some more out there. Let's see. High School Football America top 100 has Milton at number 3, right? They got Carrollton at number 9. They got Buford at number 20. All right. So, this is just some of the rankings. College football, man. Imagine finishing your high school football career. You're nationally ranked, bro. Nationally ranked like a college football team. That's insane. And again, talk a little bit about when it comes to Atlanta United. Again, they're not playing again till this weekend, so there's not much to talk about there. I've been seeing a couple of their practices online, some video. They're looking good, man. Let's see if they can. Let's see what we got here. Conference semifinals for the Major League Soccer. Which is coming up. We got Atlanta United versus Orlando City. You got New York City Football Club versus New York, which is insane. They got those teams out there like that. I do not know what the team is. It looks like the Falcons. It's the the MNUFC against the LA Galaxy, and then you got Seattle against the LA Los Angeles Football Club. So those are some of the things coming up pretty soon when it comes to soccer. So I did want to bring it up, just speak a little bit. They play this weekend, and then after that, I'll have more stuff to talk about when it comes to that. So yeah, there's that, man. And we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back in just.
Welcome to the 305, aka the Magic City, and this is Magic City Scoreboard. I'm your host JB, and right here we're gonna talk anything Miami. Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, and even high school football. So join me once a week right here on Magic City Scoreboard on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed to all that is sports.
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS. The SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What is good? What is good, everybody? Welcome back to Georgia Sports Central on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things sports. It's your boy ACS, and that's time, man. We're gonna talk about them dogs, y'all. Talk about them Georgia Bulldogs. Finally got themselves in the playoff. Obviously, the initial rankings came out last week. They just missed it by a couple. You know, they're coming off a loss to Ole Miss, right? And rightfully so, because I'm going to tell you now as a Georgia fan, I keep it real, man. Always tried to. They didn't deserve to be in that thing, right? Went to Ole Miss, lost. Didn't deserve to be in that thing. I thought but when it comes to some of the teams that were in there ahead of them, that's where the problem lies. That's where some of the problems lie, because as much as I think they didn't deserve to be in there because they lost, some of these other teams ain't played that competition, man. Georgia, the strength of schedule is number one. Like, people seem to forget that shit. Georgia's strength of schedule is the number one hardest schedule in college fucking football this season. Excuse my language. I tend to go crazy a little bit. Apologies. But yeah, so Georgia, man, catches the W 31-17 over Tennessee. I was watching the entire game. Obviously, it was in Sanford Stadium in Georgia, between the hedges. Great game. Look, Carson Beck finally playing like the Carson Beck we expected, right? And this is probably a little bit of desperation, because, you know, as I've told my thoughts plenty of times on here, that I feel like Carson Beck probably felt a bit of the pressure came with the start of the season. He was looking at number one in the Heisman race. Georgia they were number one. It was looking like they were going to they were just going to take off, right? And then Carson Beck hadn't played that well this season. The defense hadn't played that well in a lot of games. There's been a lot of stuff out there, right? So when it comes to Georgia, finally seeing them play a complete game like they did against Tennessee, was dope, man. And again, the defense dominates. 0 points in the second half for Tennessee. We're gonna take out some stats in a second. And yeah, Georgia needed this, man. They needed this. Initial college football playoff rankings came out. We're gonna take a look at those in a second. And Georgia was not even in the top 12. As far as they were ranked in the top 12, but when it came to the actual playoff, they weren't in there. And so they had to make some. Again, like I said, you go out there and play a game like you did against Ole Miss. You deserve some. There needs to be implications for that. You don't just need a wrist slap. You don't play your best football. You go somewhere and you show up the way they did against Ole Miss. There's you don't deserve to be sitting up there getting rewarded for not playing well. In other words, right? So as much as I felt like they did deserve to be in there, now they made their way back in, and so they beat a top 10 team in the Tennessee Vols. Let's take a look at some of these stats. Again, like I said, 10 points in the first quarter for Tennessee was 10-0. Your boy was sitting here thinking, these sons of bitches. Well, what are we doing here, right? Right, it's 10-0. Tennessee came into our stadium, came into Sanford, in between the hedges, 10-0. So they scored 7 points in the second quarter. Georgia scored 17, which made the halftime score tied at 17 all. We all know Georgia scored 14 in the second half to win the game. Tennessee didn't score any because the defense finally stepped up. So SEC standings, let's take a look. Let's see. What is it? Okay, see team stats. Let's take a look real quick. Man, where's it at? Y'all tripping right now. Okay, yeah. So Georgia passing Carson Beck, 25 of 40, 347 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Tennessee passing Nico Lamaleva. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. I was stationed in Hawaii, so I got the names a little bit. 20 for 33, 167 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. As you can see right here, Tennessee rushing, Dylan Sampson, 19 for 101 yards. He was getting his. Nate Frazier, 19 for 68. Carson Beck had 3 rushes of 32 yards. The one in particular, I think, woke the entire squad up when he sort of threw his body into a Tennessee defensive player trying to get that first down and things of that nature. And I think that kind of woke everybody up, if you want to look at it in that manner. And again, we want to talk about interceptions. None for either team. The turnovers, not really any out there or whatever. So Georgia just, when there's a game, when you beat a team without them turning the ball over, that's an ass whooping. The same thing I just said about the Falcons and that mile-high cheek clapping they just took in Denver. That's an ass whooping. They had one turnover that they lost. They had the fumble and the interception. They lost the interception. If you only lose one, that's it, and you still get beat like that, that is called a cheek clapping, bro. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now. That's an ass whooping. So, and I'm not going to say Georgia whooped their ass. With 31-17, they did exactly what they needed to do to get back in the dub column. And I think, we play UMass next week and then one more game after that against Georgia Tech. And then we start to see what the postseason and college football is going to look like for Georgia as far as maybe the SEC championship game and things of that nature. But as I'm looking at it, man, I'm telling you, SEC standings right now, Georgia is currently third behind Texas, who is 5-1, 9-1 overall. They won, lost though. Texas A&M 5-1, 8-2 overall. I think Texas and Texas A&M play each other at the end of the season. If I'm not mistaken, that's that rivalry type game. So one of them teams is going to end up with 2 losses to get booted out, right? And if it's Texas, if Texas is well, shit, I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think if Texas even wins, we got their 1 loss. We got them. I mean, we do have 2 losses. So if you look at Georgia, we're third with 6-2, 8-2 overall. Tennessee is 5-2 in the conference, 8-2 overall. Alabama's 4-2 in the conference, 8-2 overall. Why Alabama ain't played that many conference games? 6 overall? We've played 8. And we ain't got, okay, so I see what they're doing there. Yeah, they got this. Ole Miss 4-2, 8-2 overall. Same thing as Alabama. Alabama having to beat them though, so that's probably not a big thing. And rounding out South Carolina, Missouri, LSU, Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Excuse me. I got a little hiccups this morning. Rounding out sort of the top 10 when it comes to the SEC standings right now. So, all right. So let's take a look, man. Let's take a look. Last night, every Tuesday for the foreseeable future until the season's over with, ESPN is going to have the college football playoff rankings. They're going to drop those things and sort of have some talk about that as well. So let me get those up, man. Let me get those up real quick. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Pull them up right there. There you go. College football playoff rankings that came out yesterday, November 19th. Number 1, Oregon. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Texas. Number 4, Penn State. Indiana, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami. Number 9, Ole Miss. Number 10, Georgia. Moved from 12 to 10. At number 11, Tennessee. At number 12, Boise State. SMU at 13. At number 14, you got BYU. Brigham Young in the house. 15, Texas A&M. 16, Colorado. 17, Clemson. 18, South Carolina. 19, Army. Moving up in there, Army. Number 20, Tulane. 21, Arizona State. 22, Iowa State, Missouri, UNLV, and Illinois. Now, that is the initial top 25 rankings that they dropped. But also to go alongside that, as a comparison order, they have, if the season ended, this is how the playoff would look. The college football playoff. The top 12 teams if the season ended. Of course, there's some differences here because, as you could see, Tennessee is 12 in the regular rankings, but they're not here because of the way this is set up, right? You got your top 4 conference champions, and then you got the at-large bid, which will be BYU, who is the 5th conference leader right now. They will be playing Ohio State, Alabama at Notre Dame. Georgia would travel to Penn State. And Ole Miss would travel to number 7, Indiana. A lot of this is going to change this week as Indiana and Ohio State play, which is crazy. So, yeah, this is what it would look like if the season ended. These are the teams we would be getting, and these are the spots that they would be playing each other in. Now, of course, again, like I said, it is very, very different than this one here. It's not very different, but the top 10, 12 are just because of the way that the college football playoff is going to allow teams to get in there, right? So again, Georgia from 12 to 10. That's what you saw there. And final 2 games at home for Georgia. We played UMass this weekend, and then we got Georgia Tech, which, Georgia Tech's been playing well. They took out Miami, man. That's always a game where, doesn't matter what the score is. It's a rivalry game, man. Tech. When I looking back at the Miami game, and I look, not to say that Georgia is Miami. That's not the same. And I think that Georgia's feeling a little bit of pressure now with the 2 losses. Georgia Tech is pretty much out of it right now with their record. So, yeah, man, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine this week, right? Going up against Georgia Tech in Georgia, right? So we'll see. And then not this week, but next week up there. We got UMass first, so we need to handle business. Not to thwart teams in such a manner, but Georgia needs to put up like 50 on UMass, bro. Leave no doubt. Leave no doubt, Kirby, the same way you did in the national championship game a couple seasons ago playing against TCU. Leave no doubt. As crazy as that game was, just leave no doubt, Kirby. Against UMass, you're playing against, and I hate this, they're an inferior opponent. You should dominate this game and let everybody know that, like, Georgia is in this. Maybe you bump up a couple spots, man. Maybe you jump up a couple spots in the playoff thing so we ain't on the fringe like that. Like being this. Hold on. See this right here? Let me bring it up right here. Being right there. Hey, man, let us get either here or like 7 or 8. You know what I mean? I don't like being right on the fringe, bro, because it doesn't bode well for you when it's sitting on situations like that, right? So anyway, let's do it right now. So yeah, that's Georgia. And speaking of Georgia college sports, Georgia Tech, again, they're coming off a bye week. ACC standings, let me pull this up real quick. Oh, my bad. Put it right there. Georgia Tech, 6-4, 4th in the ACC right now. Let's see. Tech moves up to 6. No, it says 4. Again, their last game, they won against Miami 28-23. Big old upset. Took care of their business. And again, like they're number 6 in the ACC right now behind SMU's number 1. They're undefeated. Clemson, Miami, Syracuse, Louisville, and Georgia Tech. Probably not looking at an ACC conference game, a conference title game for them. They lost 3 games in the conference, so that's going to be a bit of a stretch there. But hey, look, man, they're going to give us a battle. They always give us one, and there's a chance that they might give us a humongous super battle last game of the season for Georgia. So, yeah, and then they got a home clash with NC State tomorrow, November 21st, Thursday night football. Georgia Tech, NC State. In Georgia Tech in Atlanta. So that's going to be a thing we're going to talk about for just a little bit. Yeah, man. And there's that. So, yeah, we'll see what they do. See what they do, man. See what they do. The Georgia Tech game is always it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. So Georgia Tech, man. Hopefully, shouts out. See what the rest of their season looks like. Hopefully, they catch an L for that last game. Because I mean, they need to catch an L for the last game of the season. There's nothing else to say about it, but that right. So and real quick, man. Real quick. We'll give some we'll talk about the Braves. Obviously, like I said, I pulled up a little bit of information about them last week. Some winter storm, the winter talks and all those things are still coming. So until we get that, and I seen somebody, somebody who was what's his name, man? Hold on. Y'all give me a second, man. Give me a second. Max Fried, somebody was shouting out Max Fried on social media, one of the fans saying it was a pleasure and yeah, and we all know I've talked about it on this show many times before. The Braves general manager, no bones about it. You get a little bit too old, he doesn't want to pay you. Doesn't matter how good you are. Like I mentioned last week, Freddie Freeman, he let Freddie Freeman walk, and we saw what Freddie Freeman just did in the World Series, right? Just saw what Freddie Freeman did in the World Series. So he's not too old, homie. Could have been still with the Braves doing those things for you, for the hometown team, right? Chris Sale. Hold on. Where's those things at? I'm trying to get to these. Let's see. But I thought I had it up here. Didn't have it. Let's see. Free agency. Trying to look for some of these postseason awards for the Major League Baseball, man. That's all right. So I can't find. Let's see standings, teams, and I don't know. Apologies, y'all. Can't find anything. Let's see. Where the hell are the awards at? I'm just looking for straight up awards, postseason awards for baseball, man. And I am. What you might have missed is let's see if I. Oh, that's fantasy baseball. That is not what I was looking for. Apologies, you guys. Apologies. I slipped up as I get myself prepared for this show and start. You know what I'm saying? Getting this is one thing that I did forget to get up, and I did want to talk about it because, maybe that happens. Who knows? I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Let me just do this. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Let's do this. Let's see. Apologies again. I'm trying to pull. All right. Let's see. MLB Awards 20 position honored the best at each position for the 2024 season. Cy Young. Let's see. Finally. Okay, so the awards haven't been given out yet, right? Aaron Judge. Okay, so for the National League, Lindor, Marte, Ohtani, finalists for the NFL Most Valuable Player, Rookie of the Year Awards, National League winner, Paul Skeens. I know he had this uncomfortable, awkward video where like he won. He had the weirdest look on his face for somebody who just won Rookie of the Year. It's crazy. AL, we're going to see Manager of the Year Award winner, Steve Vogt for Cleveland. Brewers coach, let's see. So they really haven't given out much yet. All MLB players from Atlanta. You got Chris Sale, starting pitcher, of course. And that's about it, man. Atlanta didn't have many players. Last year's all MLB team was littered with Braves players, but obviously this season had a lot of injuries, had a lot of things happen, bounce in the wild card round of the playoffs. So there's that, man. So yeah, I just want to bring up a little bit of Braves talk. Obviously, there's not much to talk about, and when it starts kicking off, though, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have a lot of news. I'm trying to see who we out here trying to sign, and who's coming back from injury, looking nice. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, let's jump to some basketball, y'all. Let's talk about these Atlanta Hawks, man. Doing pretty good. I mean, they're 7-8. They jumped to the second spot in the Southeast Conference of the NBA, right? Doing their thing a little bit. So they obviously, since the last time we talked about the Hawks, They lost 114-110 to the Blazers on Sunday, and then on Monday they won against Sacramento 109-108. Very close game. Trae Young against the Kings, NBA season high in assists, 19 assists for that game. So looking pretty good, man. The Hawks are looking pretty good. Obviously, when it comes to basketball, season is long, 84 games, right? Ups and downs, ebbs and flows. So, but I'll keep y'all posted as much as I can on some of this, stuff, man. If you look at some of the stats from the Sacramento game, if we take a look here, obviously, let's see where we at. Yeah, points. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Excuse me. Teams. This is we're looking at team stats. Oh, here we go. Box score. All right. Atlanta Hawks starters. Ricochet, 26 minutes. He had what the hell? Give me a second. 18 points for him. Clint Capella, 14 points, 6 for 9 field goal shooting. Trae Young, 1 for 7, 0 for 2. He only had 7 points. But again, like I said, the assists were off the charts for that game. So, where was Trae Young? Yeah, 19 assists, high for the NBA thus so far this season. Okonkwo, let's see, 7 points, 24 points for DeAndre Hunter. A couple of those out there. Bogdanovich, 6 points, right? Sacramento Kings, Trey Lyles, man, comes in with let's up here right now. 12 points right there. Let's see, 28 points for De'Aaron Fox. So he's a beast right there. 8 points for Jordan McLaughlin. So that's the Hawks' last game, which was Monday night against the Sacramento Kings. They won 109-108, very close, if I must say so myself. And next game, y'all. Next game. Hawks traveling to Golden State, y'all. They about to play Steph and the boys, right? Tomorrow, it is a Friday night game. Friday night. When is it? Basketball pulling up to 10-3 Warriors, number one in the Pacific Division on what the hell? let's just do this because this is Golden State on the 20th. Oh, that's tonight. They pull up to Golden State tonight. Apologies for getting that wrong. Tonight, 10 o'clock p.m. Obviously, it's a West Coast game. So if you want to stay up late and watch it, be my guest. Hawks looking good. I mean, look, 1 game under 500, 7-8 right now, 467 win percentage, 2 games back of Orlando, who is 9-6. Obviously, we were behind Miami, who's fell behind us. They're 6-7 right now. Charlotte, 5-9, and 2-11. Washington round out the Southeast standings. And again, points per game, Trae Young, 22.6. Assists per game, Trae Young leading the team as well with 11.6. And then Clint Capella, 63.2. Field goal percentage is leading the team for the season. So good things to see, man. Look, again, it's very early in the season, got a lot of games left. But I mean, look, 7-8 ain't too bad, man. To be this early in the season ain't too bad. I mean, they haven't even played 20 games yet. They literally have like 60-something games left. So again, very, very, very early in the season. So hey y'all. That's pretty much the show, man. I ain't got much else talking about Georgia sports, man. Again, hopefully Atlanta has a well-needed bye break. The Falcons do. And hopefully that enables them to sort of get some of these issues fixed with the defense. Because I think that's the biggest issue. The defense doesn't let Bo Nix throw for 4 touchdowns and all of them yards. Then maybe the offense can keep it close. But once you start getting down, and of course, again, Denver's defense is fire, right? But if you keep the game closer, maybe the offense can catch a spark. But once it gets so far away from you, I think at this point in time, I'm not by any stretch saying that teams give up, but it's kind of rough, man. It's kind of rough. But Kirk Cousins did hit the bench, and we did see Michael Penix Jr. come in there, throw a couple passes or whatever. So, hey, man. Hopefully the Falcons can turn it around. They got a bye week to get these things figured out. And look, that's what they need to do. Take a look back and reflect on themselves and understand that they only got 1 division game left, y'all. 1 division game. As a matter of fact, hold up. Let me get the Falcons real quick. All right, so they come back. They got to play the Chargers. Then they play the Vikings. Then they have the Raiders. Then they play the Giants, Washington, Carolina. So that's pretty much – their last division game is the last game of the season against the Carolina Panthers. Who knows? I mean, I don't think that they'll need that game to win their division, but I don't think they'll need it. But there's a possibility. There is a possibility. Never say never in sports, y'all, because shit be happening all the time. It's just crazy. Excuse me. But yeah, so yeah, man, Falcons need to bounce back. Georgia, like I said, 2 more games. Hawks entire season ahead of them. Braves offseason stuff right there. And again, high school football, man. High school football is hitting for Georgia right now. Got 3 teams that are ranked nationally at the end of the season, so that's pretty dope. And Atlanta United will have more to talk about next week when they play their game this Saturday against Orlando. They play in Orlando Saturday, so let's see how that goes, and let's see if I don't know. Let's see if that if they can continue this ridiculous run of upsets and things of that nature, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I have to apologize for my mic last week. People, if you didn't notice it, I didn't have this mic on. I was connected to my webcam, so the sound to me is bad. I don't know. I hadn't heard anybody complain about it, but to me, it's bad. I can tell. So I'm always going to be like that. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who watched. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. I love you guys. I appreciate the support as always. Shouts out to Larry. Shouts out to IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things sports. Y'all doing it. Appreciate the invitation. Appreciate being invited on. Appreciate you let me be a part of this thing. And again, Georgia Sports, man. I'm your boy. I'll be back next week, 8 a.m. Eastern time to talk more Georgia sports. See what happens, man. See what happens with the Hawks and Golden State tonight. Let's see what happens with Georgia Tech tomorrow, playing tomorrow night. And obviously, let's see if the Atlanta United can pull off some more up. Let's see what they can do this weekend. See if they can take this thing another step of the way, right? We all know they won in their first season of existence in the MLS, so it is what it is, y'all. But I appreciate everybody. Brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all things that are sports. I am ACS. See you guys next Wednesday. Peace.